Assalamualaikum, my dear granddaughters.
Waalaikumsalam.
Today, I would like to share about a recent book I read. The title is The Evolution of Fiqh, Islamic Laws and the Madhab by Dr. Abu Ameenah Bilal Phillips. Would you like to know about this book?
Yes, sure.
Grandma, can you tell me more this book discussing about what and who is Dr. Bilal Philip?
Of course, my dear. I will explain to you. Okay girls, let me introduce to you a very interesting book by Canadian Muslim scholars, The Evolution of Fiqh, Islamic Law and the Mazhab. This book discusses about the various schools of thought in Islam, including detailed fact, insight and commentary on the four major mazhab, as well as other less known mazhab in Islam. This book is written under the genre of non-fiction, religious historical book and was published by International Islamic Publishing House in 1990. Alright, so we have done with the book. Now, let's find out who's the author of this book. Look at this picture. Can all of you guess who is it? Yes, that's right. He is Dr. Bilal Philip. Dr. Bilal Philip, or also known as Abu Ameenah, is a Canadian Muslim scholar. He was born in January 1947 in Jamaica, but he grew up in Canada. Actually, Dr. Bilal Philip is a mu'allaf that converted from Christian to Islam in 1972. Philip is also a founder and developer of Islamic Online University, Swiss, and frequently hosts lecture, seminar, and post articles on contemporary issues.
I'm sure this book has a lot of strengths. Can you tell us about them, Grandma? Of course, my dear. Firstly, the stages of the fiqh evolution was explained well in their historical periods, and that make it easier for readers to connect the social and political events happen in every stage. For example, in stage 6, we could see the sacking of Baghdad as well as the fall of the Ottoman Empire under European colonialism. One of the factors were the disunity of Muslims that accelerated from earlier stages. Now, let's dive into the details. In the third stage, the division of Ummah into various factions that constantly vying for control of the government resulted in a general state of turmoil. Besides, deviation of the Umayyad Caliphs caused the termination of Shura and the breakdown of Ijma. The scholars also started to follow two main trends in their rulings, caused the evolution of many new mazhabs. During stage 4, the state support and patronization of fiqh scholars caused the flourishing of those mazhabs and the increase of learning centers. Scholars and students also exchanged thoughts on various Islamic issues. This proved that there was no rigidity and sectarianism in this time. When fiqh was formalized and systemized in the fifth stage, the number of mazhabs decreased and the differences between them became emphasized due to the state's preference for some mazhab and the rise of inter-mazhab rivalry promoted by court debates. Consequently, mazhab factionalism became widespread between the four major mazhabs. In stage 6, the evolution of the four major mazhabs into totally separate entities worsened the factionalism. It soon affected the effort to codify and enforce Islamic laws, and eventually, with the advance of European colonialism and the separation of Muslim empire, European laws supplanted Islamic laws. Therefore, Muslims nowadays should learn from their mistakes. We should appreciate and utilize our diversities to develop more knowledge and collaborate to strengthen Islam, not make the differences as an excuse to discriminate each other. Based on Surah Al-Rum verse 22, we were all born in our own unique way, and these diversities are signs of Allah's power.
Oh, Grandma, how about the author's explanation about the madhabs in this book? Can you tell me more?
Sure.
The strength of this book in terms of its explanation about the madhabs is we are better enlightened about the specific events for each imam. The elaboration of histories consists of formation of madhabs, their journey of teaching and learning, their strong principles, despite being oppressed and pressured by many people with different beliefs. All of them were explained in a very nice way and easy for us to understand. In usual class, students are only able to know limited narration of the Imam's histories due to time constraints. However, through this book, they can have deeper and better understanding about the situation of each Imam and learn something from them. The second strength is the sources of laws like the Quran, Sunnah, Ijma, Qiyas, and many more were arranged according to its importance and usage in each madhabs. Therefore, readers can easily understand the precedence, usage, and requirements for the sources according to different madhabs, even though some of the terms of the sources may sound similar.
Oh, I see. Grandma, can you explain to me about the author's idea on the stages of fiqh evolution in this book?
Sure.
From this book, there are several new ideas that related to the development of ijtihad throughout all the stages, which give us better understanding and new perception towards the concept of ijtihad. On the beginning, the concept of ijtihad in the era of Prophet Muhammad only permissible to the Sahaba whom lived far away from the Prophet to make his own ijtihad because of the certain matters which were undefined in the Quran and Sunnah. In the second stage, it could be seen that ijtihad became a basis for the fiqh. The dispersion of the ulama contributed to the increasing number of ijtihad led by the scholars in order to fit in with the various new customs and problems depending on their political and socio-cultural factors during the third stage. It was applied continuously in the fourth and fifth stage as their source of Islamic law in a form of analogical reasoning called qiyas. However, all forms of ijtihad were stopped completely during the stage of stagnation and decline, since this was the period of emergence of taqlid. Do you get it, my girl?
But Grandma, are there any new ideas that can be extracted from the book?
Sure, there are. Firstly, why did the Imams decided to establish new mazhabs rather than stick and popularize the existing ones? Islam promotes its followers to think freely. Free thinking that is in line with the Sharia enables Muslims to live more comfortably, as it leads to more alternatives and solutions to our problems. Islam, as a religion for universal human beings throughout the ages, is very understanding of the complexity of human life that varies between a nation, place, and era. Thus, they are not forced to follow only one form of way of thinking, because it will cause human beings to be in a life environment full of difficulties. Therefore, Islam gives freedom to human beings to own diversity of ways and methods of thinking, as long as it doesn't conflict with the basic principles of Islamic teachings. Secondly, we can see that Imam Shafie is a bit restricted compared to other mazhabs. For example, Imam Shafii used only 4 sources of law, while Imam Malik uses 9. The wisdom behind this is Imam Shafii wanted to develop a methodology that is consistent, which reduces the possibility of making errors in the rulings as best as he can.
So, before we end this session, let's jump into conclusion and recommendation for this book. Overall, this book is important as it allows Muslims to reflect on themselves, especially in solidifying their stand in faith belief. The author presents a brief overview of the historical development of Islamic law and the mazhab very clearly. The key explanation for the appearance of the school and the variable that leads to variation between them is described also in the book. In consequence, this book definitely can be used as a reference for school and university students, teachers, as well as public reading material. The way the author presents his views are easy to understand, and it also delivered the point straightforwardly.
Okay, kids, I need to go now. See you later. Bye.
Alright.
Thank you very much, Grandma.